Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Frank Smith, just instantly go to John Ryder. We will talk about that gutsy performance from Canelo, but just what heart in there. I think the general consensus is probably the best performance by a Brit in terms of sort of the bravery shown in there against Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, unbelievable heart, but it's not a surprise. And we said it in the build-up, John Ryder wasn't coming here just to lay down and get a payday. He was coming here because he deserved to be here. After that fifth round, how he got was it the fifth round, I think? How he got through that round, and then fought all the way through and became stronger as the fight went on. Tough man, and he deserved that tonight. And I'm sure there's a lot more big nights for him now off the back of that performance.
I think after a few rounds, the general consensus was it maybe probably wouldn't go past 6. He just kept gritting down. On a note about the 8th round, the sort of general consensus was that it was a knockdown. I don't know about yourself. It wasn't scored a knockdown. Probably would have been better for him if it was, because he would have had the 8 count to sort of get himself back to his feet. But he just sprung straight back up, and I think that is just the 36 minutes could just be described in that little clip as to the guts and determination he showed in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I thought at the time it wasn't a knockdown because he got up so quickly, and then the ref said no, he slipped. I think he tripped over or his legs crossed. But yeah, I mean, like I say, and then to come on stronger as later in the fight as well. Not just okay, I'm going to survive here, because at no point in the fight did he just choose to survive. He carried on coming forward every time. So every time he was hurt, he carried on coming forward, throwing punches. Not, I'm just going to hold on for dear life, which a lot of people will do against Canelo Alvarez, because we all know, how powerful a puncher he is. So, he tremendous performance and kept on coming forward and showed he's got so much more still to give the sport. And like I say, some big fights out there for him.
He is 34, I believe now, but almost. I know he didn't come out victorious, but probably the best and the most fans and support he'll get after that. Eddie wants him to carry on fighting. I know it's very raw for John, but he still wants to carry on fighting. There's no real talk about retirement. There's some huge fights at 168. Caleb Plant, Benavidez. These are all guys that will probably bite their hand off of an opportunity to fight John Ryder. He's going to be a wanted man.
100%. There's not a huge number of opponents there as well for these guys to face, and they'll all want to go in there and prove, like they do, that they can get him out of there. That Canelo couldn't get him out of there, but they can. And I think anyone he goes in with, he'll show the same heart and guts, and will be going the distance with. But no, there's no talk of retiring. I think because John's been in the sport for so long. And around for so long. But at the same time, there's a lot of fighters who are 36, 37, 38 years old. So, I think he's got a good team of people around him who would tell him when enough's enough. And I think he's still got, like I say, a lot to give. And he showed just how fit he was in there tonight as well. He's trained so hard for this moment, and he's still got more fights in him.
Frank, just on Canelo next, I know there's been a lot of them and are in about sort of, is it going to be Bivol next? 168, 175 is a talking point. He came out in the ring afterwards, he says, look, I want Dmitry Bivol at £175. I know that you're very close with Bivol's team, Vadim, etc. I know that they really want it at 168. Problem with that, if you're Canelo, you beat him at 168, everyone goes, oh, you had to boil him down to win, etc. Realistically, do you think it's the next fight, and what weight do you see that being at?
I hope it's the next fight. Look, they both got different views. I can understand from Dmitri's side, he wants to become a two-weight world champion and undisputed at 168. He wants that opportunity. He's not doing it or looking to give excuses. I think because Canelo's saying same terms, I want to beat him on the terms that I lost that fight on, and fair and respect to that. So you have to understand both sides, both points of view, because he'll say, if I go and fight him at 168 and I beat Bivol, everyone's going to say, well, you couldn't do it at 175. And Dmitry is going, well, I beat you at 175. I now want the opportunity to do it at 168. He's never made 168 before. He's talked about doing it for years and years. I hope the fight happens, but let's see, because both sides are very insistent on their position, so we'll see what happens. But it's a fight we're going to try and push to make.
Frank, on a personal note, we've known it's probably been about 10, 11 years since Canelo last fought in Mexico. How proud are you of the team and sort of everyone involved in being able to stage this event tonight? It was electric in there. It's something that I imagine a lot of us come out of that. You yourself, we haven't really seen anything like that before.
Yeah, look, everyone did an amazing job, and I always knew, even from the small events we do in Mexico, the atmosphere that's created, when we've got 2,000 people in there. So to have 55,000 people in that stadium tonight, the walk-ons, the fireworks, everything, the show, the production was brilliant. And, it was a lot of people came together to make it happen. So, unbelievable night, and one that will go down in history. And, it adds to that list of events like we've been so lucky to be at. And like you say, to actually look round tonight, like I was looking around as if I was looking around the arena, to be there and experience and witness a night like that was sensational.
Two more from me, two new signings. I'm going to hit you with Andy Cruz first, who Eddie has just given you all the credit for. Said that you got in touch with his lawyers. He didn't believe you at first. When I mentioned it about a year ago, there was a sort of feeling that maybe it wouldn't be for Matchroom, the logistics, how much you're going to have to pay a guy like that with also a relatively unknown away from the hardcore boxing community. How and why have you and Matchroom made this happen?
I think Eddie said himself, he could be one of the best signings we ever make. He's a tremendous fighter, 27 years old, and wants to move quickly. His first fight will be a 10-rounder in July, and the aim is for world titles within 4, 5, 6 fights, and he's ready for that. For us, it was good to work with Jesse Rodriguez, who we worked with on Gamboa in the past when we did some fights with Gamboa. I've been talking to him for quite a while. This has been going on for 5, 6 months. And it was funny in the car the other day because we signed the contracts, and Eddie went to me, "Do you know what? I did DM Andy Cruz the other day because I didn't believe you'd signed him." He thought I was just talking to some random person. But
a burner account called Andy Cruz.
But a burner, no. But obviously, I'd never met him, obviously. So when he turned up tonight, I was quite delighted that we hadn't just had a signed contract off a random Andy Cruz, and it was the real Andy Cruz. But it's exciting, and it just shows, the place where our business is now. That these fighters want to sign with us. Andy would have had a ton of different options, but he believed in the vision that we had, and he believed what we wanted to do for him. And I think we're going to make it happen. Everything we say we do, we're going to deliver them.
Regis, Prograis, everyone and their nan has thought you've been bluffing us this week. You actually haven't. It was signed last night. I believe he flown in this morning. Throughout the week, were you confident, or was it a real last minute? I believe there was a real big money move from Top Rank, but he has decided to come with Matchroom.
Yeah, it was up and down, and like you say, it was signed less than 24 hours ago. Then we got him flying in. Same with Andy Cruz. We decided to get him to flying as well last night.
Where's he flown in from?
He was in the Dominican Republic. But we got Regis to fly in, and like you say, that's another massive move. Obviously had a ton of options, not just Top Rank, but Top Rank made a great proposal for him. But here we can build him into a star and be the A side he is. He's not just there to be an opponent. He's not just there to fight one of their guys. We can build him into a superstar, and that's what we plan to do along with the Zone. I'm very excited to get that started up and running on June 17th against Liam Parry.
Frank, as always, thank you very much for your time. A final message, what a night.
What a night, and Parsons, you should buy some sun cream next time.